See if I can zoom in on one of these images. Of course, the very first one's empty. Huh. That's not going to help. So my problem is I can't tell if there's a 1 pixel border on the right side or not. I don't think I can see it. Let's do one more try here. Create from strip. Boom, boom, boom. 59, 19, 15, 1. Let's do 20 on this, which breaks it. 19, 2 would probably break it. Yep, 1 in between. There might be a horizontal cell offset, which I think could be 1. Ah, I see what that does. Yes, push it left to 1. Or push everything right 1 with that. Now that looks right to me. That looks correct on all accounts. I'm going to say thumbs up there. Okay, and let's look at this guy. And that's even smaller. Here's the 8. I probably could have figured out the width and the height of each one of these just by looking at these. 19 and 15, look at that. On the back. That's not the back. This is the back. 20 and 15 it says here. But I think I'm basically including a space to the right of them, which may not be correct exactly. The space may just be to keep them separated by 1 pixel, literally, if I don't put any width in between each of them. So I may go back and change that, but let's just see what this looks like right now. Now I might have my plus sign now when I attack an enemy. Probably taking GameMaker a minute to load those fonts in. Looks like it's almost done though. Oh, I'm gonna have some font missing because I made the one back up, and it might even cause an error because it'll look for that one and won't be able to find it. Let's just go ahead and add it right now. There's your error. Sprite, bitmap, font, general, small, load sprite. Cancel, let's just edit right from the top, create. Here's this guy, remove background. There's 8 by 8. You saw, right? Man, it's really hard to see that. I wish I could zoom in here, but it's really hard to see. I'll let that sit at 0. And the horizontal separation, yeah, let's just call it so that looks incorrect to me. I think I have more than 59 images for one. And then let's see where it's starting to get messed up. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I might have like well, let's add that 1 pixel piece back in. For this one, it feels like the font just isn't wide enough. This is so hard to tell. 7? That looks pretty close. Seven width. Wow. I think that's a little bit smaller than the last one, but again, I took a pixel off, mainly on the yeah, let's just check that. I took a pixel off like I did on the other one. The other one was 20 and 15. This one, the other one, the small font was 8 and 8. The large font was 20 and 15. This new way that I did it, I have a 19 width large font and a 7 width small font. But I think this is going to keep there from being a 1 pixel gap between any of our words. So we may have to update this. Here we go.
Skycurser.
So the large font looks good, the small font looks like it's off.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah, that looks good. wanted to update that font because it still looks like it's off a bit. So general, small, edit. I mean, the weird thing is that this looks pretty close to on. So I think I'll go for the same way that I had it. And instead of a pixel offset of 1, I'll set this to 0. And I'll take my pixel back here, try this again, everything looks off again. Alright, so let's try this again. So leave it at 8, take this to 0, hit OK. Okay, everything looks close to correct, if not correct. Let's try it. I think I'll also slow the speed down of that thing as well. I think again it's reworking the fonts in here, it's taking it a minute.
Mission 1, Death at Dusk. Go!
The fonts look way better. Yeah, and we'll slow down the speed of that thing so that it doesn't travel across the screen so quickly, so that it doesn't get as far. That's the main thing. Yes, CTXCB. Come be a better indie dev, man. Join the team. Are you working on any projects right now? What programs are you using? So we're moving at a speed of 0.5 across the screen. I think I'll take that down to 1/4. Should go a lot slower. Have an idea for game, but don't know what engine is best suited to it. If you want to talk about basics or generalities of the game so that you're not giving too much away, or you can share as much as you want, really. I'm just throwing some ideas out there. But if you want to talk about basics, got a decent idea of what engines are good for what. I would say I'm not a pro in any of them. I've spent the most time with Game Maker Studio. Alright, so I just updated the speed on that one. And it's got a child there. Okay, cool. Alright, what else here? So you're probably typing something out. Oh, I'm guessing you're typing something out. If not, I could just talk about gaming engines in general. From what I've seen and what I understand, Game Maker is good for a 2D game, a platformer, and let's see, I wanted to make an MMO, mainly text-based with only ASCII graphics, kind of a life simulation like stock market and working and living, etc. Nice. Mainly text-based with only ASCII graphics. I like that. So that's a good one. An MMO, I'm leaning towards something like not Game Maker, but probably something like Unity, and probably something an MMO could be. I know Unreal Engine is supposed to kind of facilitate that, but the thing that Unreal Engine does well is graphics. So the fact that you're doing ASCII graphics kind of cancels that out. I think Game Maker could do a massive multiplayer online. It would take a lot of work. Unity might be one of the best places to go. Also, there's Godot engine, which is open source, and there's also, I think, if you're wanting to get down and dirty, I don't know what your programming experience is, but C and C++ seem to be pretty popular if you want to get like in the low-level programming languages and tear everything apart and put it all back together. I would love to do that if I had a little bit more time, but I don't, unfortunately. So I'm using Game Maker. I don't use Game Maker's good for its drag and drop functionality. That's kind of what they lead with, but they also have the ability for you to program in here pretty well, pretty decently. You just gotta kind of begin to understand it, and once you understand it, then you can move forward with it. And that's mainly what I use it for, is just to program with. The beef I have for Unity is that 3D engines is that they're built for 3D, so those types of things are difficult. Right. So, I mean, Game Maker might be an option, man. I know Game Maker does have some of that functionality where you can do networking and stuff like that. So you can let somebody, you know, log on to your network and figure out who they are, and probably, I would imagine, connect other people in there as well. I don't know anybody working on an MMO in GMS right now, but I would be surprised if there is not one. Okay, so we got that piece right there. Let me think for a second. What else is there? Man, I did not want that to take as long as it did, but yeah, let's test that and see what it looks like really quick, and then I may call it a day. Web-based, but I'm not sure, like a browser game. Yeah, I mean, again, Game Maker can do that, can export to HTML5. I think there are some gaming JavaScript engines that you could potentially use, but I don't know what they are off the top of my head. I know that HTML5 seems to be pretty popular right now, gaining popularity versus just JavaScript based, just because of all the things you can do with HTML5 in the canvas.
Mission 1. Death at dusk. Go!
Yeah, much slower. You stay in place a lot better. Yeah. Okay, guys, I think we might be in a good spot now. So what's next on the docket? I think I may do, yeah, JavaScript and HTML5. That would be really good, man. I know I've seen one or two game devs using HTML5. I don't know if they're using the combination. I think it makes sense to use the combination of JavaScript and HTML5. I'm a software engineer by day, mainly web software, so that makes sense to me. But I have seen a couple of game devs in the game dev game here on Twitch that are using HTML5. So I don't know if they're using any engines or if they're just programming straight up. I think they're just straight up programming. So let's see what's next here, guys. Okay, so what's next on the docket? I'm gonna bite the bullet, and I'm going to fix. We went through a major process of doing everything correctly with the mini blast bullet. And I kind of realized after the process was finished that I could make it even a little bit more efficient, and I think that's going to go a long way, because right now the way it works, and if you've tuned in at any time up to this point, you've probably seen me or heard me talk about the fact that every time a mini blast bullet or the Vulcan cannon bullet is created, there is a complete data structure weapons map that is created for every single one of the objects that exists in that level. And then yes, it is destroyed. We do garbage cleanup just fine, but I think we're wasting a lot of processing power by creating the data structure weapon map before we check for the collision. So what I want to do is kind of make that inverse a little bit. I want to check for the collision first on that, and then only create the data structure weapon map if necessary. So yeah, that is going to require extra work, but I think I can still reduce a lot of the code and get this working exactly the way we need it. So yeah, I think that's it for today, guys. So that leaves me with playing our intro outro video. Guys, thanks so much for joining and tuning in today. Thanks for your follows. If you haven't already followed us on YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, those are the best places to follow us at. And yeah, so I'll also check here in just a minute and see if I can find any of my buddies who are hosting right now, and I'll pass the host right over to there. Hang tight if you want, otherwise I will catch you guys next time. Heard the follow. CTXCB, thank you for the follow, man. Very much appreciate that. Glad to have this conversation with you here at the end of the stream. Hope to have more conversations with you here in the near future. And so once again, thanks a lot, guys, and I'll talk to you next time.
that is, it's Y. It's Y is down too much. Skycurser Dev again. Thanks for the host, mate. I'll check you out actually. I don't never twitch.tv/Skycurser Dev. Chuck you a follow, mate. What language do you use? Ah, can't even speak. I use Game Maker as well. Oh, nice. Okay, I'll give you a follow. I'll make sure I check out your stream. Okay, I forgot what I was doing. Oh yeah, I was checking the Y